So, alright, friends, welcome to Night X Chess. Today, we will see the game which we talked yesterday, the greatest game of all time, voted by chess.com. The game was played between Garry Kasparov and Veselin Topalov, as we can see here, in 1999. This was the big time of Garry Kasparov, and he was at his peak ratings 2851 at the time, and he was winning tournaments by big margins. So, in this game, we'll see tactical beauty of the game as well as king hunt, how Garry Kasparov forced Black's king from his camp to White's camp and just he hunted the king in this game. As well as Topolov also defended very good. That's why the game was, reached till 42, 43 moves. We'll see some brilliancies of Garry Kasparov here, and he made three brilliant moves in this game. So let's start the game without wasting time, and what and how he did in this game. Let's start the game. So here in this game, White started with e4, Black did d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3, g6, planning to develop bishop on long diagonal here, and then bishop e3, bishop g7, queen d2. Now we can see White is planning to exchange dark square bishop on this square. That's why he brought his queen on d2 square, and suddenly Black started rolling his queen side pawns. See, c6, f3. Now f3 came, that we can say White is planning to go for long side castling. Then again Black came with queen side attack. Here we'll see who will reach their goal first. Will White be able to go for king side attack first, or will Black be able to go for queen side attack first? Let's see. So knight g goes to e2, knight bd7, and then bishop goes to h6, bishop takes, queen takes, and here almost castling chances are over because of the queen. So now Black must think about the castling on long side, or he must do something of this queen. That queen can come back and Black can do castling. So bishop b7, developing light square, bishop a3. So before bishop b7, here was the move suggested by engine that White must have done b4 and threatening this knight. This knight had some squares, but d1 is the best because these two squares will make knight weak, and then Black can come for queen a5, attacking on queen side, and this could do something for Black. But here Black played bishop b7, a3, and then e5, and Black just attacked the center. Now White goes for long side castling, queen e7, didn't capture the pawn. If captures, knight captures, and knight will have good position on center, and also opening light square bishop's way. King b1, a6, knight c1, planning to bring knight on b3 square, because here this square is really good. Try to exchange light square bishop. If light square bishop get exchanged, then this bishop could do a lot on long diagonal. Then Black did long castling, knight b3, e takes d4. White could capture with knight, but here White captured with rook, and Black pushed the pawn attacking rook, and rook goes back, rook d1. Now king is here. This pawn can be attacked two times by queen and rook. He could defend with rook and queen as well. So we can say that in some sort of play, Black is being weak on queen side. I mean, now where the king is. Let's see what happens next. Knight goes to b6 square, then g3, and king goes to b8 square. Now knight goes to a5, planning to exchange the bishop with knight, but here Black saved his light square bishop on 8 square. Then bishop h3, taking the open diagonal towards king side. Okay, and now slowly white is making, placing his pieces on really good position. Then black did d5, queen f4 check, queen f4 check, king b7, rook at h goes to e1, and then d4. So d4 threatening knight, knight can jump on really good square, but there are two knights and queen threatening queen. So if knight goes to d5 square threatening queen, white can take with two knights, any of the knights. And if what here black took with b knight, but what if he takes with this knight? So here black is totally losing because takes, rook is threatening queen, so queen d6, and white can just simply capture the pawn and give check to the black's king, and here white is almost like winning. Here black captured with b knight, knight takes d5, e takes d5, and white is threatening queen by rook, so he must save his queen. He saved on d6 square, and here black captured this pawn because if he capture queen, white can capture the queen back and he will be a pawn up. So he gave the rook, but black captured with pawn and opened the way to king side for white. And here, here the first brilliant move from white comes, rook e7 check. If queen takes, white will give check, king b8 force, queen d6 check, bishop b7, knight c6 check, king a8, and that's mate. So that's why here black could not capture the rook and did king b6. So now white gave check from d4 square, black must capture the knight, and white has check with b4, king must come on a4 square. Now king is almost trapped in white's camp, and now white can just find some moves for checkmate. So as he did, queen c3, checkmating on b3 square. Black captured the pawn, saving this square. Now the whole game will depend on tactics and as well as defense and attack concepts and calculations as well as square calculations. Black must only defend the game and squares, that he does not let white checkmate his king. Now white cannot checkmate on this square. That's why he found another really good move, rook a7, capturing this pawn and checkmating the king. Black had, material up, so he did not have any problem to just give back the material. So that's why he did bishop b7 and tried to distract the rook, and white captured the bishop. Then queen c4, he tried to exchange queen, but white didn't do that and captured the knight on f6 square because it was free, and black cannot do anything here to white's king, and white's king was safe. So king takes a3, made space for him to go. Queen takes a6 check, king takes b4, and c3 check. So the idea behind this check is, if takes, then white will go for check, and now in some moves black will be checkmated. So black goes here and the bishop check, and now king will be trapped somewhere here in white's camp. So that's why he did not capture the pawn with queen, but he took with king, then queen a1 check, king d2, queen b2 check, queen cannot come in between because of the king, king d1, bishop f1. This was the second brilliant move by Garry Kasparov, distracting, decoying the queen. If queen takes, queen c2 check, king e1, rook e7 check, and he must put the queen in between and it will be checkmate. So that's why he did not take the bishop. Instead, he went for rook d2, threatening the queen. If you take, I will take, and eventually I will be a pawn up. So that's why Topalov did rook d2, and here White played his third brilliant move, rook at d7, pinning this rook to the king. And now rook cannot go for the queen. He must capture the rook. Otherwise, in the next move, it will be checkmate on d2 square. And black captured on d7. And here, white got the queen. Now black captures and black gets another rook on long diagonal, which was on 8 square. And now black is helpless, and rook d3, and queen comes out to save, you know, this pawn promotion and save his pawns. Here he pushed the pawn, queen a4, queen a4, king e1, and this pawn was falling and he saved the pawn. f5, king c1, rook d2, queen a7, and queen was taking the pawn. If he pushes the pawn, and this pawn cannot be saved, and queen will just take over on black. So here black resigned because he did not have enough material to, resist the white's queen, and Garry Kasparov won the match here. So I hope friends you liked the game. Share, like, and subscribe the channel. See you in the next video. Thank you and bye for now.